for us to award honorary membership to Dr. Fang Liu as she completes her term of service as the ICAO Secretary General. Now, most of you here as fellow Hermes members know Fang very well. Fang, we're delighted to have you with us today. But I'd just like to pay tribute to the enormous hard work that you've put in since you've been Secretary General of ICAO. I think, I'm not sure that we could have access to your diary, but if we did so, I think we would see your participation originally in a record number of events with speeches across the world. But most recently, of course, that's been transformed into many Zoom calls and your appearance online on many events, always speaking fervently on behalf of ICAO and on behalf of the aviation industry. So, as Hermes, as you know, is the organization for very prominent leaders in the industry, and so we believe it's highly appropriate that we recognize you with honorary membership of the Hermes Air Transport Organization, which will commence from the 1st of August this year. So, assuming that you are more than willing to accept this honor, I'd like to invite you to say a few words to the Hermes meeting, please.
Thank you, Jeff, for your very kind introduction. I wish that I would be able to join you on site and to accept this honor in person due to the current COVID-19 constraints. So thanks to the new technology, advanced technology, we are able to connected by this virtual format to join you. So first of all, in accepting this honorable membership, I wish to first acknowledge the former ICAO leaders who benefit from the same Hermes distinction. This includes my predecessor as Secretary General at ICAO, Mr. Raymond Benjamin, and the former Council President of the organization, Mr. Bernard Aliot. The aviation community of late has benefited from these and many other excellent leaders, a number of whom are with us here today, and with whom it has been my tremendous pleasure to work and collaborate over the years. It has brought a tremendous level of vision and determination to their organization and to this very historic and accomplished sector. And I'm deeply honored to be in their company here today. I must also dedicate a portion of this remarks to recognize the many ICAO directors and staff who have made my mandate so rewarding during this past 6 years, and whose dedication and commitment to excellence and professionalism I have so deeply relied upon. I would like to also acknowledge that the industry leaders and their staff supported ICAO, supported me to go through this 6 year journey. Even as the pandemic has impacted so much of our sector's growth and its many benefits for countries and their economies, the business of international aviation continues, and in a manner which is bringing our community together as never before at the global and regional level. I would therefore like to conclude today by offering some reassurance that when the vaccines have done their work and the shadow of COVID-19 has lifted, people everywhere will take to the sky in great numbers again to explore, to learn, and to trade. air transport and tourism leaders must anticipate and deliver what passengers and tourists will expect from the new normal in terms of healthier and more sustainable international mobility. But they must also ensure the industry can emerge from the pandemic more economically viable and more resilient to future pandemics or other threats. Hermes Air Transport plays an important role by providing aviation leaders with a high-level platform where these key challenges can be identified and responded to on a strategic and collaborative basis. I'm both humbled and grateful to now be included among the honorable members of this most distinguished of organizations. Thank you very much again for your kind nomination, and also I'm very much looking forward to see you in future, whatever the capacity I will be, but certainly I will part of your group. Thank you.
Thank you, Fang, for your kind words. We look forward to continuing our relationship with you, and wish you all of the very best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Join? Okay, then continue.
Okay, we're good?
Yep.
Thank you for your patience in listening to Dr. Fang Liu. I think the very good news we have is that her successor as Secretary General, Juan Carlos Salazar, is very well known to us, and we anticipate a Hermes member, and we anticipate a very fruitful relationship with the new Secretary General. And given the comments that were made on the last panel, it needs to get better, and so at least we have a colleague who will help facilitate that, I think. So thank you everybody for that. The next agenda item for this annual general meeting is the annual report of Hermes by the Director General, a certain well-known Kostas Iatrou.
I will not go to the podium in order that Fang will be able to see us. Then I will stay here, if you don't mind. Well, despite the fact that 2020 and the start of 21 was really heavily affected by COVID, Hermes was quite aggressive, if you want to say, and organized a series of events. First of all, if you remember, most of you participated in the last year AGM that was held virtually, and you know we were the first to use new technology to do this event, but we are the first to return back to the old new normal, or the old time. That means we meet physically, because as I said in the morning, we have to meet physically because we connect the people, and then it's important to be all together. Then we, apart that last AGM took place virtually, there was a summer aviation forum that was organized here, and this event was under the auspices of Hermes, and Jeff was the chair of the event. In February, thanks to the president of Hellenic Aviation Society and professor at the University of the Aegean, we were also participating in their event of Hellenic Aviation Society annual general meeting, with quite a few of you participating, with Henrik, with Felipe and Jeff. And then in April we held this the event that was co-organized with Aeronautica Civil de Colombia, thanks to Juan Carlos Salazar, focusing on the Latin American market. And finally, last week we held the last of the virtual events that we organize or participate for Africa, together with IPADIS and Bernard Aliou, the president of IPADIS and immediate past president of ICAO. Also during the same period we signed 3 MOUs, one with IPADIS that it's already active because we exchanged participation in different events, with today signature with Nick and the Airlines for America, and of course with the University of the AGM. Of course, as everyone in this industry, we were affected financially, and Felipe will present the last year financial statement. And the board took a decision after consultation with some of you about starting having an annual fee. Initially was no fee, but you know, seeing the situation was really tough for us to continue without having an annual fee. And we agreed to have a fee of 200 euros. Most probably, we'll discuss in the board tonight, might change to dollars, Canadian dollars, because we lost a lot in the exchange rate, transforming the euros to Canadian dollars. In total, we have 93 members, and we participated virtually in quite a few events, me and Jeff representing the organization, an ICAO ATRP meeting, and the high-level ministerial meeting for Africa that was organized by IPADIS, in ICAO informal briefing back in September about innovation. In the 2020 Summer Aviation Forum, we presented the book that you saw it also earlier today, the History of Commercial Aviation, that is continuity of the first book we made back in 2014. Also last year, during the Air Transport Awards, Peter Elbers accepted the 2020 Hermes Award. In our board, we had a change, and Luis Felipe de Oliveira became the vice president and treasurer of the organization from last year, replacing Robert de Jong. And I will finish with what is the most important, I think, for Hermes is the recommendations. You heard in the morning from Angela that we had the participation of many of you, ERA, Airlines for America, European Commission, ALTA, and so on. In total, we had 15 with position papers from ICAO, ACI, AACO, ACAO, ERA, LACAC, AFRA, AFCAC, European Commission, Eurocontrol, A4A, AASA, IFATSEA, and GAATO. And that is quite promising. We sent an invitation to 25 organizations. Some of them, they are not so important compared to those that participated, and I would like, on behalf of Hermes, to thank all of you, your organization, that you spend time and energy. We know that it's not an easy time, and you spend about survival, we heard this today, but contributing to what we're doing is important for our industry. And of course, the AGM is our AGM, meaning that we have the opportunity to discuss the future of what we do as an association, as an organization. Then this concludes my annual report. I don't know if you have any questions. Otherwise,
any questions for Kostas, please? No? Okay, thank you. The next important formal item on the agenda is the approval of the financial statements for the year ended 31st of December 2020 and the appointment of auditors for 2021. As you're aware, the revenues of Hermes are quite small and the expenses are quite small as well, but nonetheless this is an important item for us, as with any association. So I'm delighted to hand over this matter of great importance to our Vice President and Treasurer, Felipe.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Kostas. You know, that's the problem when you don't participate physically in these meetings. You know, I was not able to come here last year, and I was appointed the treasurer. You know, that's why I recommend you to come, always to come to the meetings, because if not, Kostas will find a way that puts some work on your extra work on your tasks. You know, but I have a pleasure to be the treasurer of the organization. since the beginning of this year. As mentioned by Jeff, we have a very few expenses and very few income as well. That's why basically we finalized the year of 2019 with 2,125 Canadian dollars in our account. Last year we spent only $751 with administrative staff, and we had certain dues that were paid in advance last year. That's why we have an income of 1,437 plus 918 plus 1,104, total 3,459 including dues and sponsorships, and we end up the year of 2020 with 4,833 Canadian dollars in the account. I checked all the expenses. It was a hard task as well. A lot of receipts, as you can imagine, for these small expenses. But basically everything went well. And this year, as we are starting to receive the memberships from the members of Hermes, we probably have some more movements in the account, more expenses and more revenues as well. If everybody is okay, I would like to ask you for the approval of the figures and the numbers. Yes?
I have a question. Of the 93 members, how many are honorary and how many are paying? Because that boosts income now.
No, we have only 4 honorary members.
4 honorary, so
89 are members that pay the dues.
93 are the full members, not the honorary.
I'm a banker, so I tell
You need to see the numbers.
for the income.
Yeah. We are not going to the detail of the numbers this year because we are talking about 2020, but we already have an income coming from the members as well.
You are all paid members.
Yeah. That's why if you all agree, we would like to approve the numbers for 2020. Any objections? The second part is we would like to address the approval of the Poole and Associé, the Société Comptable that works for us in Montreal on the prepare the financial statements. The total cost of this company for us is 1,250 Canadian dollars per year. They are doing the work since Hermes started, as far as I understand, and they are providing a good service for us with a very low cost considering the quality of the work they do. That's why I would recommend that we can renew the contract with them for the year of 2021. And if you don't have any objections, I would like to ask your approval to go ahead and reconfirm Poole and Associé as our auditors for 2021.
But they were already last year.
Yes.
So the $700 expenses didn't include them.
No, we didn't pay them last year because we have an issue with the bank. That's why we pay only this year that we pay them. That's why the we have $1,500 that we pay this year because we have an issue with Robert left as a treasurer. We took like 6 months because of the COVID, according with the bank, to settle that I was able to access the bank account and do the payments. That's why we only pay them a couple of months ago, right? Yeah. So will be in the accounts of this year, 2021. As there is no objections, we approve Poole and Associé, and I would like to pass back to our president, Jeff Poole.
Thank you, Felipe. Just by way of comment on those financial numbers, I think you will be aware that they're so small that they don't possibly reflect the true expense of the organisation, and whereas the revenues do. So moving forward, it is one of the challenges that the board will address on how do we get the Hermes onto a more sustainable financial footing. But in the meantime, I think we all owe a huge thank you to Kostas for managing the way through this and engaging with the sponsors and providing his own generous hospitality to us. So thank you to Kostas for that.
No, thank you.
Now, because Hermes is registered in Canada, one of the things that we have to do is actually appoint the members of the board of directors on an annual basis, which is unusual for some of you, and we do that at the AGM. So the next formal item is the election of members to the board of directors. I wish to inform you that with one exception, the existing directors are happy and willing to be reappointed. The exception is our good friend Robert Dayon, who for personal reasons is unable to continue and has therefore resigned from the board. The board has considered options for replacing him and unanimously recommend to you that Eamon Brennan, the Director General of Eurocontrol, joins the board of Hermes. And I also wish to inform you that Eamon has indicated his willingness to serve should you agree to that appointment. So I would like to ask you please for any comments you may have on the reappointment of the existing directors, with the exception of Robert Dayon, and the appointment of Eamon Brennan also to the board. As I mentioned to you, that will be for a period of 1 year because this is renewed
by law.
Annual. So,
This is by law.
are there any comments, please, or questions? In which case, may I ask for your approval to the Board of Directors? Thank you on behalf of my fellow board members for your continuing confidence in us. We will serve you well for the next year. The next item is the welcome of some new members, and for this I will hand the floor to Kostas.
Yes. As I said to you earlier, we have 93 members, and we are pleased to welcome some new members today that have physical presence. During last year also, well, during the last month, to be precise, we had also the CEO of Tallinn Airport and the CEO of Istanbul Airport, but due to restrictions it was not possible to join us here with a physical presence. However, we have 4 members that new members that joined, and then it's Patricia Vercelli. Sorry if I'm saying correctly. Then we have to go to take a picture there.
Okay, thank you.
There we are, just pose the picture. Thank you, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Ioan Stavlas. I don't know, Patricia, do you want to say a word? Sorry.
I'm sorry?
Do you want to say a word?
I'm a paid member. Anyway, just thank you for this and for opening your house. This is my second trip to Greece in the last month, which is a testament to this government to make it so easy for U.S. citizens to come into Greece. But also, as you know, Nick Halio, of course, from a personal standpoint, but also from having worked in the White House, it's all about cooperation and collaboration. And the reason why there are 3 of us from A4A in this group is obviously because he fully believes in you. So, thank you.
Ioan Stavlas, Secretary General of Hellenic Aviation Society.
Thank you, great to see you, and thanks for becoming a member. Thank you.
I admit that I didn't expect this invitation from Kostas. It was a surprise for me, of course. Thank you very much, Kostas, for this, to accept me as a member of this wonderful Hermes family. Thank you very much.
And thank you for your cooperation with the Hellenic Aviation Society. Thank you.
And last, Jeff Pitt. Yes. I forgot to tell him.
This is another surprise appearance.
No, he's kind of here. Jeff. Here you go.
Where are the plaques for the next one? The next three, the plaques.
But they are not here.
I know, but I was just going to show what we're going to give them.
Okay, okay.
Now those of you that know Jeff will recognise a shy and retiring figure when you see one. But Jeff, thank you for becoming a member of Hermes.
Thank you.
Here's your no expense spared certificate.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the Hermes.
That means I have a very long list of people to interview.
Exactly.
So I'll be sending this. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
I said 4 because I have 4 certificates, but the one is not a new member. But last year the celebration took virtually. I would like Nick to get the certificate, a physical one, not a virtual one, because we like a paper. You know, okay, it's good about the environment. Some things you need to remember. Then
The undeniable technology.
yes, thank you.
Nick, thank you.
I like my paper, but I like my pen more.
Thank you.
And of course, as new members, you will get your pins. Welcome to our family. Then.
Thank you. So that concludes that item. We have one more item before any other business and closing the AGM, and that is a token of appreciation. The Hermes board has decided that we really do need to recognise 2 individuals at Athens International Airport that have supported us since the beginning of Hermes with regard to logistics and sponsorship, helping us with the all of the taxes and everything else. So we have produced, obviously we can't do anything dramatically expensive, but we have produced a plaque of recognition to the 2 individuals who are Teta Petroula. Teta you all know is the public relations specialist, and also Ioanna Papadopoulou on the marketing side of Athens International Airport. We believe that recognition is absolutely deserved, and we hope you support that. But we did want to inform you that we were doing that because all of you have contact with those people, and I believe have benefited from their help and support at some time. So thank you.
Well, they were not able to come here because, you know, for those coming tomorrow in the cruise, there is a little bit complicated. The bureaucracy is really tough, especially with getting to islands, because they have really very tough procedures. Then I had to go to the port to confirm, and Ioanna had some last-minute personal problems with her family, and we'll try to make it for tomorrow. That's why they was not able to join us last minute. I hope there will be both tomorrow. Then those who will be coming, then I will give them this recognition tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. And then finally, any other business? Does anybody wish to raise any issues, matters, questions? Yes, Mr. Treasurer.
Just to comment, I had a quick chat with Juan Carlos Salazar just before the meeting. He's already in Montreal. That's why he was not able to come, because he spent his 14 days of quarantine in Montreal. And he sent regards to all of you, and he told that he expected next year we'll be all together, and he will be pleased to come and join us here or in the place that we will do the meeting. So just to pass this message from Juan Carlos. Thank you.
Thank you. That's excellent news. So finally then, it's my duty and pleasure to formally close this AGM, and in doing so I note that there can't be many AGMs that have to compete with the cicadas for attention. So thank you everybody, we really appreciate your time here and of course your support for everything that we're trying to do. Thank you.
Bravo.